Hicks B. Waldron, Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, Avon Calling, began his career with General Electric's management training program, where his first responsibility was to clean out the grooves in the factory floor. He really started at the bottom, didn't he? Now, that shining, clean floor was the first of a long string of successful job performances for Waldron. 27 years tenure at General Electric. In 1973, he joined Hubeline Incorporated as President and Chief Executive Officer, and then advanced to Chairman in 1982. When the company merged with R.J. Reynolds that same year, Waldron became Executive Vice President for Food and Beverage Products, a division with combined sales of $4.5 billion. In 1983, he accepted a new challenge, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Avon, one of the world's largest cosmetic companies, with 40,000 employees and 1.4 million sales representatives in nations all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Horatio Alger Award, the final one for this evening, will be presented by 1981 awardee Peter Scotese.
Thank you, Peter. You're a good man. Don't forget my buck. Thank you. Thank you all for waiting around. I appreciate that. I have been last on every list all my life. And thank you, the Horatio Alger Association, for this award. I really am honored, and I'm grateful to all those people who have been helpful to me throughout my life. And there have been any number of counselors and catalysts, teachers and mentors, and starting with my parents and my neighbors back in Amsterdam, New York. There are several football coaches who taught me sportsmanship as well as sports. And there was a faculty at Green Mountain College up in Vermont who helped me get my priorities right, setting scholastics just a bit ahead of athletics. During the war, there was a captain who I didn't like very much, who let an overconfident ensign try to dock a ship, thereby teaching me the resounding lesson in humility. The crash was heard all over the Providence Navy Yard. From warm and loving friends and family, including my daughter Jan, who is here with me tonight, I learned the joys of love. From the loss in quick succession of my first wife and my son, I discovered sorrow and perhaps at that time the beginnings of wisdom. This double tragedy helped me put my values, I believe, in proper perspective, and today incidents that would have seemed like disasters are little more than inconveniences. From my Episcopal rector in West Hartford, I learned the true meaning of compassion and discovered the solace of God. Everywhere I've worked, there have been co-workers and subordinates and even bosses who helped and goaded and challenged and encouraged me and picked me up when I fell, which was frequently, and cheered when I scored. And I also thank my competitors who have taught me the foolishness of complacency. Nor should I fail to pay tribute to Lady Luck. I do not ever want to offend her. She certainly had a hand in my life, as in the first presentation I ever made as one of 5 very young General Electric executives to the chairman of GE. It was a tense time. A bad presentation might have ended any one of our careers. The man who spoke just ahead of me, when we finished, nervously slammed the book closed. The book had all 5 speeches in it, and he left the podium with the book. He, you might say, left me literally speechless. In panic, I screamed at him, in retrospect, "Please bring the book back." Well, as I was to discover many years later, the only one of the 5 that the chairman of General Electric remembered was me. Not for being a brilliant speaker, but for being the speaker without a speech. And Lady Luck, of course, was at work. But I must say my biggest piece of luck was in tracking down the wonderful woman who became my wife and my partner just 9 years ago, Evelyn, my love and my friend. It was a winner of one of the very first Horatio Alger Awards. My friend, the late Colonel Harlan Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken fame, who gave me the thought for my closing lines for tonight. Once I had mentioned to that venerable old curmudgeon that he must have great satisfaction in being a self-made man. And his response typically was that he'd be damned if he'd take all the blame. He said, I had a lot of accomplices. Well, so too do I want to share the credit and the blame with all of those wonderful accomplices who have helped me, because I owe them everything. Thank you very much.